Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Finally made it to the very last hive, number 7. Can't really call them a hive yet. I made a split from hive number 1 last week with 3 frames, I believe, that had some queen cells. Honestly, really can't remember the details. I have noticed the more hives you get, the harder it is to remember exactly what's going on with each of them, which is why I make these weekly inspection videos. Not just for you all to enjoy, but it really serves as a record keeping purpose for me. So yeah, over here at hive number 7, gonna take a look at them. They're in a 5-frame nuke. I believe I did this last week, so this will be the first time, or 2 weeks ago, the first or second time I've really looked into them. I believe it's the first. Anyway, enough of that, since I can't really tell you what's going on with them. Let's just take a quick look and see if any of the queen cells have hatched. And if they have, maybe we'll come across a queen. Alright, well, that's a good sign. If you can't see that from that angle, that is a good sign that they still have bees in there. So I've made some splits this year. It's been several months, but I've made some splits and came and checked on them about a week later, and not one single bee in the nuke. Like, they totally absconded, to include some splits that had the parent queen. So laying queen, a week later, checked on them, gone. Every single bee was gone. They didn't swarm, they totally absconded. And that's happened, if I can remember correctly, that's happened twice this year. Never thought I would experience anything like that, but I did, so. I don't remember what frames had the queen cells, so I'm just checking each frame like a regular hive inspection, knowing that they do not have a marked queen. And sometimes you just have to slow down to do so. So these bees are doing an excellent job of packing away nectar and capping it or curing it into honey. And there is a queen right there. And I am not really prepared. Hold on. Hopefully I don't lose her. There she is right there. So she hatched in the last week. Let me get this thing ready. Okay, let's turn that around. I just need her to crawl up. Can't really see what's going on. Have patience. She's trying to crawl out underneath through the comb, which I've never experienced that before. I think she's still in there. Okay, so that was a very that was not, I mean, I got her in here, but that was not pretty. I mean, look at what I did to the comb. That was a first. Never really had that many problems catching a queen before. Let me clean this up a little so I can mark her. Get all this comb out of the way. Okay, so they have a queen in the last week. It's pretty neat. slide this plunger up. Show you all this. Turn around. She is not cooperating. Hey, look, she's trying to get out. Turn around. Doesn't help, she's upside down. So yeah, it goes to show you how the queens cannot escape the queen catcher. She just doesn't want to face the right way, so I can mark her. I mean, I don't really blame her, I guess. Oh man, this is taking a while. There we go. Gosh. That is not a good job. I did not do a good job on that one. The pen ran like crazy, so we'll see what happens in the near future. Hopefully I didn't mess that up too bad. That's probably been the worst experience with marking a queen so far. Alright, I'm gonna let her chill out for a second. I am gonna grab my flashlight here to see if they started to or if she has started to lay any eggs. Hold on a sec. Not entirely sure what happened to. Oh, it's right in front of me. But yeah, they're pretty calm. I mean, they have a ton. Storing a ton of nectar that I really want to see if she started to lay any eggs. Man, I'm really displeased with myself. That was the worst queen marking job I have done this year. So here's another queen cell, if you can see that. It looks like the bees may have chewed that out since the side's removed. Alright, one more frame. That frame's got a ton of pollen. I just want to check again, see if there's any eggs or anything. Alright, yeah, we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. But that's definitely the queen, so we shall see. Doesn't look like a virgin queen. I mean, her abdomen looks pretty large. Otherwise, I would not have marked her. So let's get her released. Such a sloppy job. Really not happy with myself. Let's get her released and we'll see what happens in the next few weeks. Yeah, that's terrible. Hopefully I didn't mess her up. Alright, well, if you can't tell, I'm really not happy with how that went. I haven't really learned how to use the paint markers that great. I prime them, but it never fails. Occasionally, I barely touch the queen's thorax, and a lot more paint comes out than I would like. So, like I said, hopefully that doesn't cause any problems for what could be hive number 7. So, just like any other split, I'll have to check back in the upcoming weeks. Actually, I'll check next week. That seems to be my typical hive inspection rotation. This time of year has just come out weekly. But yeah, I'll have to check on them next week and see if, one, that queen's still there, and if she started to lay any eggs or not. And if that is not the case, I'll grab a frame from another colony that has day-old eggs and introduce that frame into that colony. So they might have to produce another queen, which is unfortunate. So it's always easy to say in hindsight, but in hindsight, maybe I should not have done anything just then. But sometimes I get excited when I find a queen and I want to get her marked, because then I know it's the same queen the following week, or the colony has superseded her and made another queen, and they may have swarmed, or whatever the case may be, in the time in between inspections. So that does it for hive number 7, colony set. No, hive number 7, split number 7, I guess, if you want to call it that. So yeah, check back next week. We'll see if what I did just now affected the queen or not. So that's how beekeeping goes. You wish them the best, but sometimes you introduce your own problems. So if it wasn't such a sloppy marking job, I wouldn't feel as bad or have the thoughts that I'm having. But because the paint poured out a little more than I thought it would, and I think some did get on her eyes and her wings, that's why I'm now a little regretful of marking her. But like I said, we'll check back next week and see if it had any effect. It may not have any effect, and it might be the best laying queen that I have in the entire bee yard. So we'll see. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Cole's Farm, Jacksonville, North Carolina. That concludes this week's hive inspections. July 26th, probably about 12:30, 100 degrees. I got some honey harvested and need to extract it. That'll be a separate video later today after I clean up and cool down and chill out in the house for a while. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you enjoy these videos, if you hit the bell, you'll receive notifications of future videos. And if you're on Facebook and Instagram, check us out there as well. Cole's Farm NC for North Carolina. And that does it. Another hot day in the bee yard. And yes, no trespassing, because honeybees are working. All right, hey, thanks again, everybody, for checking out this week's hive inspection videos. Quick look down the line. This is hive number 5. They have been bearding pretty heavily lately, which makes sense because it is hot. But as you can see, there's a lot of activity. The area is typically in a dearth this time of year, but it looks like the bees are finding some kind of food source, because they're bringing in pollen. The ones that are not being fed seem to be storing nectar. And I noticed a bee on this flower right here as I was walking back to hive number 6 and 7. Not sure what that is. I tried to identify all the plants around the bee yard. I made a list of everything I've noticed the bees foraging on this year, so I can tell people exactly what I know is in the honey. I think that's kind of cool. I think that's why people buy our honey, because they know it's local to Southwest Jacksonville. And unlike the years before, I've never done that. I've never made a list of flowers, floral sources that I've seen the bees on. So this year, when I make my post, I will share that with everybody. So if they decide to buy our honey, they will know, for the most part, exactly what the bees have collected this season that is in our honey. I think that's kind of a cool, unique touch that makes us a little different from other beekeeping operations in the area. Alright, that does it. Thanks again for watching, everybody.